All right, so this video is to show us how to mark up a cap. We have Dr. Fernandez, we have our lovely assistant Jenna, and we have me, Ibrahim. So Nicole, would you mind putting on this cap?
Yes.
All right. Looks like the cap is placed nice, there's no wrinkles. So I'm just gonna make sure that the suture line is at the center, and I'm gonna do that by measuring the tragus to tragus. So we're gonna start right here. All right, so the tragus to tragus is 38, and yep, we're centered. 38 divided by 2 is 19, and that's where the suture line is. Perfect. Do you mind just placing a dot at the 10% mark? So that's going to be a 3.8 on the left hand side. Perfect. And just come over here. We're just going to measure 3 up and then 0.8. So 1, 2, 3, and then 0.8 right below the 4. Perfect. So now we have 10% from the tragus to tragus marked. And we're going to start by measuring from the nasion to the edge of the cap. So that's the nasion to the edge of the cap. That's about 3. So do you mind marking that on the left hand side of the cap? All right, so that's the measurement that we are going to always make sure that the patient has the cap right at 3 centimeters every time they come in for a treatment. All right, so Nicole, would you mind just holding the tape right there, and we're going to go all the way back, and we're going to measure the nasion. All right, so Nicole, do you know where the nasion is?
At the nose bridge.
And the inion?
Near the back of the head.
All right, perfect. So I'm feeling it right here, right below the protuberance, and that's about 38. Do you mind marking that? Perfect. And we're going to do the same thing, 10% from 38. So you're just going to count 1, 2, 3, and then 0.8. And we're also going to do 50%, so that's a 19. And we're going to do 10% from here, so 0.8 over here, right below the 4. Perfect. All right. So we've measured that, and now we're gonna anoint your vertex. All right, perfect. So this is your vertex. And we're gonna go ahead and measure the circumference using the marked 10% distances from the tragus on both sides and from the inion and the tragus and the nasion. So Nicole, yeah, again, would you like to hold the tape for us? Thank you. So we're gonna go at the 10% over here. At the 10% over here. And right back to the beginning, you can remove your finger. Yep, so that's about 60 centimeters. So the circumference is 60. And we're gonna plug all those 3 measurements, the tragus to tragus, the circumference, and the nasion to inion, and we're gonna get an X and an adjusted Y. So, perfect. So the X is 6.9 and the adjusted Y is 10.4. So we're gonna mark the X using a different color. So 6.9, so right below the 7. That's our X on our left hand side. And we're gonna flick that as well. We're gonna use a different color and mark the X as well on our right hand side. 6.9, perfect. All right, and now we're gonna measure, use the Y, so that's 10.4. So we're gonna start from the vertex, the CZ right here, And we're gonna drop it down to where the X is. Perfect, and that's 10.4. So can I have that marker? Perfect. So that's where our left treatment location will be located, F3. F3. All right, and then we're gonna do the same thing for the right hand side. I'm gonna drop it down to, yep. Let me put the measuring tape like this, right from the vertex to the X, and 10 point, and perfect. So that's our treatment location for the right hand side, that's F4. All right. So now we're just going to find C3 and we're gonna do the chevron. So C3 is just about 20% of our tragus to tragus measurement, and we're gonna start from the vertex here. 20% of C3 is, so it's 3.8, and then you add another 3.8 to it. What would that be? 7.6? All right. And then just mark the 7 and mark the 5. Perfect. And then we're just gonna label that C3. All right, and we're also gonna mark 5 and 7 going down the suture line. 5 and 7. And we're gonna also mark 5 and 7 in line with the tragus. Yep, 5 and 7. And we're gonna connect the 5 lines right here. Perfect, and we're gonna connect the 7s. And we're putting a dot at each centimeter, just for consistency base sake. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. 5 and 5 centimeter dots. Putting a dot every centimeter. And same thing, 5 and the 7 and 7. All right, now that we have a nice chevron, we're gonna get our salmon protractor. And we're gonna use the same color. So we're gonna put the salmon protractor right on our treatment location. And then we're gonna try to make these lines parallel to the lines we just created, the dots we just created. And that looks parallel to me. So we're just gonna fill in these dots. And we're gonna do the exact same thing on the opposite side. All right, 1 second. Looks parallel. And we're gonna do all right. So now we're just going to get our treatment coil and we're gonna place it on the location, and we're going to draw a nice outline of it. So here's our treatment coil, and we're gonna match it up to the circles we just created. That looks like it's pretty matched, and then we're just gonna draw an outline for the coil. And we're just gonna draw an arrow to the center. Perfect. And normally we don't ask the patient to move, but since the camera's kind of attached to the arm, we're gonna ask the patient to move in this specific case. And we're gonna do the same thing also so you can see on this side. If you'll just mind moving a little bit this way. There we go. And we're just going to make sure. All right, it looks good. All right, let's draw the outline. Yeah, no worries. All right, so now we can see the cap. It has a nice M in the center. It has the left F3 located and the right F4 located. And looks like it's good. It has C3 and all the other markings. All right, perfect. Thanks, Nicole. Thanks, Jen. Thanks.